At the age of 25, I am a college football coach. I am a college professor. And I know everything. I walked into the football locker room at Wayne State University one Sunday. I was in a real good mood because our team had won on Saturday. And I look, what's that? I saw the head football coach pick an athletic tape off the floor and throwing it into the trash can. And there was tape all over the locker room left there by the players from Saturday's game. I said, Coach, why are you picking up the tape? Let the janitor do that. He was bent over with a large wad of tape in his hand. He threw it in the trash can, looked at me and said, Walt, no job is too small. I was stunned. Here was this young whippersnapper, just 25 years old, still wet behind the ears, being humbled by a man who knows what leadership is all about. I didn't know what to say. I was so embarrassed, so I said nothing. The head coach said nothing more because his actions were so deafening. Being a leader starts with being a role model. Be a great role model. It is the very best way to inspire your people. This head coach went on to win a national championship with another college in NAIA Division football. And that day in the locker room, I learned a lot about leadership. And I hope you feel the same way after tonight's program. We are going to focus on how to inspire your people by leading with your heart and doing the right thing. I believe when you put these ideas into action, you will embolden your employees and yourself to greatness. You see, folks, a good leader manages people. A great leader inspires people. And now, I have 4 pieces of rope to pass out. You don't have to give an audience of leaders directions. And now I'll reach into my pocket for some magic dust. Some people call it lint. And now some more magic dust. Thank you. Almost worth walking a block in the rain to be here, huh? How do you inspire a 19,000-pound whale to jump out of the water and over a rope 22 feet high, 3 times as high as this rope? I saw Shamu the whale do this at SeaWorld in San Diego. It's incredible. So how do you get the whale to do it? Well, the traditional leader, not you or I, would start by placing the rope right up there at 22 feet high. These kind of leaders call this goal setting. You know what I mean. Now that leader has to inspire that 19,000-pound whale, so what does he do? He takes a bucket of fish and places it right above the 22-foot rope. Then he leans out from his high and dry platform at SeaWorld and shouts, "Jump, whale!" And the whale stays right where it is. The leader looks down at the whale and says, "You know, you're not going to get any fish till you perform." And the whale looks up, confused. In the book, Chicken Soup for the Soul at Work, one of the authors talks about how the whale trainers at SeaWorld do it. The trainer's number one priority is to give positive reinforcement to the behavior they want to see repeated. They start by making it easy for the whale, so the whale succeeds. So the whale cannot fail. They place the rope below the surface of the water. And every time the whale goes over the rope, it gets positive reinforcement. It gets fish, it gets patted, it gets played with. And what happens when the whale goes under the rope, folks? Does it get a shock? No. Does it get constructive criticism? We've been there, haven't we? Does it get a warning that's placed in its personnel file? No. The focus is on rewarding the right behavior. Nothing complicated. Rewarding the right behavior. You see, positive reinforcement is what gets that 19,000-pound whale to jump out of the water and over a rope 22 feet high. And as the whale gets the hang of it, the trainers raise the rope gradually. And over time, you get the unthinkable. A 19,000-pound whale jumping out of the water over a rope 22 feet high. Now, what lesson can we learn from these whale trainers? The lesson is over-celebrate. Really over-celebrate the good stuff. And under-criticize the bad stuff. You know, most of the time employees do the right thing, but most of the time, when do we give feedback? Is it after the good stuff or after the bad stuff? Yeah. As one employee said, "How come they never catch me doing something right? But as soon as they catch me doing something wrong, they're all over me?" So, if we want our employees to perform at a high level, over-celebrate, under-criticize, and raise the rope gradually. Director of a zoo wanted to over-celebrate. He wanted to show his appreciation to his customers and his employees who had made the zoo such a success. So he planned a big celebration. And 1 month before the celebration, the favorite attraction at the zoo, the gorilla, dies. Too late to get another gorilla. He puts an ad in a newspaper asking if anybody would like to be trained as a gorilla. An unemployed college professor answers the ad. They always do. Goes through 2 weeks of training, puts on his gorilla costume, does his gorilla thing, and the director thinks to himself, "This will work." The day of the celebration, thousands of people are at the zoo. Many of them flock to the gorilla exhibit. And here's this man in a gorilla costume acting like a gorilla. Nobody can tell the difference. In fact, this man is getting attention he hasn't gotten all his life, and he gets carried away with himself. He jumps on a swing and starts swinging back and forth wildly. And he swings so hard he flies off the swing, loses his grip, flies off, and ends up in the lion's den. Looks up and sees 5 ferocious lions roaring at him. Quick as a cat, one of the lions pounces on him, starts chewing on his arm. The man in the gorilla costume yells out, "Help! Save me!" And the lion says, "Shut up or we'll all get fired!" Over-celebrate, under-criticize.